Welcome back, everybody. So this is a different video for me. I will actually be doing my first sponsored content. So I did check the box, but there will be a little flyer coming in on the window here just to again remind folks that this is sponsored content. So the product was sent to me by the company. I am not being paid, and nor was I told what to say in the video. So any opinions are solely mine. You can take that with a grain of salt. I know some people say that all the time, but this is my first time doing this, and I have no reason. I'm not monetized to be lying about anything. So what are we talking about? Well, we are going to be reviewing the Melonare PM-2S wireless monitoring system. Technically, it's an in-ear monitoring system. So what is that? Well, yeah, I don't know if you can tell. I don't have a whole lot of space, especially because I combine my uh, quote unquote studio and office and work from home office all into one space. So I don't have a lot of space for wires. I do still listen on my headphones, but I have run into the issue where I've dragged my wire across stuff. So that's one wire that I'd like to get rid of. I do use wireless units for my guitars as well, just because of the lack of space. Um, Wireless units could come in handy in a number of other situations, and we'll get into that as we go through the review. So just a quick update. So who are Melonare? They're a relatively newcomer to the gear uh, products, and they're primarily focused on budget-friendly and user-friendly audio gear. Besides these wireless units, they have a couple of other different like wireless mic units. I'll put up a picture. They've recently put out a practice amp that you may have seen in other YouTube videos as well. It seems like a decent product, and I'd really like to thank them for the opportunity to do this. Um, at the time that I presented this, like I said, I'd been looking into a wireless solution, but if you've ever priced out wireless monitoring systems, they can get a bit spendy. That's where this one comes in. Currently showing up on Amazon at $40. It's a good way to just test things out. So I'm going to unbox these for you. Just to be honest, I did already unbox it so I could see what was in there, read the manual, and charge them up because they do get charged. So inside the box, you do get your manual, a quick overview of how everything goes. It's the little foam, the receiver, and the transmitter come in those little pouches. So we're going to take those out. I am going to keep the box because it's a handy place to keep all the other stuff that comes with it. This is the transmitter, which is what's going to hook up to wherever you're putting sound out from. We'll get into that as we get into the demo. It also comes with the receiver, which is where you plug in your listening devices, whether it's headphones or in-ear monitors, and I'll get into that a little bit. Technically, it is listed as an in-ear monitor wireless device, but being what it is, you can technically use it with any set of headphones, so long as you have the proper adapter and inputs. Speaking of inputs, we do get a couple of other options for transmitter or the receiver. You've got a cord, 3/8 inch to 3/8 inch, as well as a USB-C to USB-C. If you need other adapters, you can buy those as well. It did come with a 3/8 inch to 1/4 inch jack adapter. I've already got one plugged into my audio interface, so I won't need to use that. So that'll go back in the box. I did want to get in-ear monitors, but I did buy a cheap pair. And to be fair to Melonare's product here, I tried it just straight into the AI, and the cheap in-ear monitors that I bought are terrible. The bass response on them is awful. It's just not a good fit to listen to for anything. So if you've priced out those as well, you know that in-ear monitors can get pricey as well. If anybody has any ideas about ones with good bass response and wants to leave a comment, I'd appreciate that, because right now anything that's listed as having good bass response, you're $200 to $300 range, which is something that I'm not going to do. And frankly, that's not necessarily what I need it for. We'll get into that more later too. That's why I'm going to be using my headphones here. The specs on the device here: on one charge, a 3-hour charge, which charges via USB-C, you can get 10 hours of use out of them. And both the receiver and transmitter have volume controls on the side so that you can set from the transmitter and from the receiver I recommend you play around with that to get the right fit so you can see, okay, this is where the max that I want it to be at. You can set it so it balances properly with what you're listening or what you're monitoring. A single touch on the unit allows it to switch from mono to stereo. So let me power this on quick. And that button is right on the top. So you just hold it till it lights up. And I'm not sure if that's picking up. So the blue light, it defaults to stereo, which is how I'm going to use it. The unit automatically pairs to each other when powered on. You could see that the blue light was blinking on the receiver. Now that I've powered them both on, we have its solid blue. So they are paired. And it operates on the 2.4 gigahertz frequency, and it promises 150-foot range. I don't need anywhere near that for my use case scenario because the farthest I'm going away is maybe 10 feet over to the bench over there for different things. But we are going to test the range because there's a lot of other use case scenarios. I encourage you to go find other video reviews from other people that have done this, because there's people that are taking them actually out on a stage and seeing how they work for them. Just see if you can find a video that matches what you would use these for so you can get a better idea if this is a product for you. I have a guitar set up and you guys are going to hear the same lick twice. I can't find an elegant way for me to present the quality that is coming out of the wireless unit compared to being directly wired into it. So I will give you my own opinion, and hopefully I explain it well enough. So like I said, I've got my headphones here and I've got my cord draped across everything on my desk. All right, we can hear that okay. Let me just do a quick lick here. And then I'll plug in the wireless unit and compare the sound. All right, that's what I'm used to. This is actually where it's quick and easy. I just need to unplug my headset from the audio interface and plug it into the receiver, which I'm just going to have in my pocket or on my desk here. We'll put it in my pocket so I don't drag it off the floor. It's also got a clip on the back of it so that you can clip it to your shirt, to your belt buckle, your guitar strap, whatever. So for the transmitter, just plug into that. And now I plug in the other end into the adapter in my audio interface. Set the guitar down so I don't relic that on screen for you guys while I'm trying to do a demo. All right, so we are plugged in. And after I turn back on the guitar, I should be able to hear this. All right, and that actually sounds pretty good to my ears. The only difference I did notice was there's a little bit less bass response. It's a little more bright, and it was a little louder. So what I'm going to do is turn down the volume a couple times on the receiving unit because that was about as loud as I ever want it to get. Turn that up one more click. I'm just trying to get it to match what I was hearing when I was directly wired in. All right. Actually, I don't have any complaints about that sound. I don't know that I would use it for mixing audio. We'll get into that more later. So what I'm going to do here is set down the guitar, and I am going to take off my headphones, and we are going to set this up using a speaker, and I'm going to play a generic audio track from the YouTube audio library so I don't get any sort of copyright issues. And we're going to take a walk with this. So give me 1 second to get this all set up. And when we come back, I will have you on my phone so that we can go for a walk, and you'll know that when you're hearing me, you're good. We're actually going to hear when this starts to break up. I wanted to avoid having any other wireless device with me on the walk to avoid interference, and also to find out whether it was the mic cutting out or the wireless unit. So give me one moment and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so take two. I didn't hit start on the video. You guys should be hearing the music. I'm walking back to my house so that we can see this. Sorry for the mess of the yard. It's been winter and we haven't had time to clean up. So now I'm walking. You should be hearing the music. I know about where it's going to quit because I was just there. But we're going to get a little ways down the road. I know that around our neighbor's house is right around 150 feet. So right around the time I got to our lot line, which is right here, is when it started quitting. Yeah, it's starting to break up. Still going good. Still going good. I'm hoping you guys can hear the music. If not, you're going to have to take my word for it. So yeah, I think we've well exceeded the 150 foot that they spec'd. It's starting to break up a little bit again. Really starting to break up. But frankly, I'm kind of amazed at how far we're getting. This is way better. Okay, yep, now we lost it. All right, I'm going to cut the video here and I will meet you guys back at the house. That's how far we've come. Waiting for the car to pass. And I'll meet you back at the desk and we'll have some final thoughts on this. All right, thanks for indulging me on that little walk. Sorry for the take two part of it. Basically, as far as I'm going to go is the front door, which is right over there, literally 10 feet away. You saw it from the outside. So my final thoughts on this, honestly, number one, thank you again to Melonare for the opportunity to review these and for the kit themselves, because I'll be getting a lot of use out of these. I think for the money, these are great kits to use for monitoring. I could see, besides just my limited area, when I am shooting my videos and want to make sure that I'm hearing everything for the guitar without cords, being on the go streaming, you could hook this up to your phone or a little portable audio interface to do some fireside streaming or anything on the thing. A small gig if you're in a small space where you just need to make sure over crowd noise that you're hearing everything would be great for that too. Because of the lack of bass response, not lack of bass response, slightly less bass response, it doesn't sound true to what I was hearing on my headphones. I don't know if I could recommend it for mixing audio or producing anything like that, but again, for $40, I think this is a great way to dip your toes into finding out whether a wireless monitoring system is for you, and you can make the decision to spend up to get something that is of whatever grade you would need for what you're doing. But I honestly think for $40 again, I don't think you could go wrong for trying these out, especially for just casual listening to music, even if you had anything going on to use that for. I do think it's a good fit for what I'm doing, and I'm definitely going to get a lot of use out of it. Your mileage may vary with the sound quality depending, because number one, even my headphones, which have the better sound, are cheap. If you spend up for a decent pair of in-ear monitors or a really nice set of headphones, you may get better response out of that. If I had any recommendations from Melonare, the only thing I would think to ask is maybe in future iterations of this product, if they could, number one, make it on the 5.8 gigahertz spectrum, just because 2.4 gigahertz gets awful crowded between cell phones, other wireless devices. So if you were at a larger gig, you might get some interference that could cause problems with that. 5.8 gigahertz tends to get a little better distance and not as much interference from other products. So that's one thing that I'd recommend. Again, that may raise the cost of it. It may not be something that they're interested in doing. The other option, and I don't even know if it's a possibility, I haven't looked at whether it's a feature on higher end in-ear monitoring systems as well, is maybe just some sort of EQ that you could tweak the bass and treble responses to match what you were hearing on a directly wired in set. so that it would be more useful that way. But overall, I'm really, really happy with these. And I also wanted to thank Jeremy at Strings and Pucks again for pointing me at Melonare and getting the opportunity to partner with them to put these out. So with that being said, would I recommend these? Definitely. For $40, I don't think that you would have any problems with these. The other good thing being they're sold through Amazon. If you find out these just aren't for you, the return policy is super easy through Amazon. So you wouldn't have any issues returning this like you would ordering, say, from a Temu or something like that, where it takes a little longer to get things done. Again, thanks for the opportunity. Thank you guys for coming along. I wish I had a better way to demo the sound coming out of these so that you guys could hear what it was, but try them out for yourself, and we'll see you next time.